drivers across Canada are feeling it at the pumps, and it's especially painful in Toronto, where gas prices rose as much as 10 cents overnight. CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick is at a gas station in Toronto with reaction from motorists. And Megan, I can't imagine they're happy about this.
Oh, some grumpy drivers here this morning, Hannah, that's for sure. With this big spike in prices overnight, take a look at the price where I am here in Toronto, 162.9 a litre. That is up about 10 cents just since yesterday. So yeah, that's the biggest one-day increase we've seen in a long, long time here in the Toronto area, in Ontario, really. And as you can imagine, yeah, the drivers I'm talking to here this morning, not very happy about it. One woman just telling me this sucks, and another person using a word that I can't use on television, Hannah, to express their reaction to this price at the pumps this morning. And this does have a big impact on a lot of people, especially for those who rely on their cars for their jobs. I talked to an Uber driver this morning. I talked to two men who are contractors, and this impacts their bottom line and their business. Here's some more of what some drivers here this morning have been telling me.
Can't afford it. It's too expensive. I don't know. I need more payers. I can't do it. My boss has got to drive me everywhere.
For some people, you'd have to decide between like food and gas, right? So, or going to work or not going to work and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely sticker shock and not looking forward to going up again, but I gotta get to work.
I don't really appreciate it, but it's out of our control. You just got to do what you got to do. Kind of regret not coming last night, though.
And some people, Hannah, it's not lost on them that we are days away from a long weekend. So they're not too happy about this price spike ahead of that. One silver lining for the drivers I talked to today, prices are expected to go up even more tomorrow. So it's a good thing they were filling up today. And for Toronto drivers who might be hitting the road this morning for the long Thanksgiving weekend, they might want to think about getting out to the pumps today.
Absolutely. And there are a lot of people heading out for Thanksgiving weekends with their families. So what are the experts saying? How long could this last? Give us some good news, Megan.
Sorry, I can't, because the analysts we're talking to are saying this might last a little while. Of course, one of the issues is supply and demand. There's tight supply of oil right now, some of these analysts are saying. Another problem is a shortage of ethanol in some places, and it's mixed in with the gasoline. That's one factor. Of course, global conditions, another factor as well. And so these prices might not go down for a little while yet. Here's what one analyst CBC talked to is telling us about some of the reasons why we're seeing these prices.
The world is already in a very, very tight oil supply situation. So any additional decrease in that supply, or planned or otherwise, will have the predictable effect of making prices much higher. And so energy traders are reacting to the news by driving up not just the price of oil, which has gone up $7 a barrel just in the past day or so, but also gasoline.
Now, it's not just here in Toronto we've been seeing prices go up. A lot of cities across the country are seeing it go up, Hannah. And if it's any consolation to drivers here in Toronto, this 162.9 is nothing compared to what drivers in Vancouver are facing these days, in the neighborhood of 240. One of the issues there is that a refinery that BC relies on in Washington state across the border is undergoing repairs and is offline. So that's impacting the supply of gas in BC right now. That's driving prices up there and across the country, because now they're moving stuff around to help fill that gap in BC. So yes, very expensive here this morning. I saw one woman fill up, it was over $100. She didn't even have an empty tank, and so she was hurting this morning once she saw her final bill for her gas fill up this morning, Hannah.
Yeah, Megan, I'm glad you mentioned British Columbia. Tim Kane just tweeted me in the middle of your report there saying, remind Megan, it's $2.40 a litre in BC. So yes, absolutely. Megan, thank you for this. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.